Greetings, Internet. I'm here to respond to a certain video that I shared today. Someone by the name of Jeremy Holloway made a video not too long ago. I think it was the past couple days, and it was shared to my Facebook, and a friend, they didn't link it to me, but they shared it on their Facebook, and I assume that they did so because they agree with it, because they haven't said anything about it. But it's probably like one of the dumbest things I ever heard. And it's funny because the guy seems so confident that he's in the right that it doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to share the video right now, and I'll let you get your own take of what he's saying here, and then I'll give my 2 cents after it's over.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Boy, stop. Oh, wait.
Hey, don't call me that.
Call you what?
Boy. Like, don't call me boy.
Why? What's wrong with that?
I just don't like people calling me boy. It's all.
Okay, first of all, it's not that serious. I didn't mean anything by it. You ain't gotta get so sensitive about it.
You know what, you right. You know, I am being a little sensitive. I should have knew, because you a funny bitch. I mean, a funny bitch.
Whoa,
That's you.
whoa.
You hilarious.
No, you ain't finna play that game.
What?
Call me a bitch? No.
I mean, I ain't mean nothing by it. Why you being so sensitive?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? Yo, that was very disrespectful. Me calling Morgan out of her name like that, I agree with y'all, was very disrespectful. What makes y'all think calling a grown man boy outside of his name is not also disrespectful? Ladies, understand this. The word boy, no grown man likes or want to be called a boy, especially if you a black man, because they used to call us boy back in the day to demean you from being a man, call you anything but a man. And if y'all ladies still don't understand what I'm saying, what do y'all say when a grown man or real man don't do what you feel like a man, grown man or real man should do? What's the first thing they say? What should I tell them? Oh, that's not a real man. He not a real man. He a boy. He a little boy. We got too many little boys running around here. We need more men out here. So basically, you feel like because you don't mean it in that way when you say the word boy or to a grown man, or you feel like you're just joking, okay, cool. So he can call you a bitch when he just joking. He can call you a bitch when he don't mean it that way. You see how I'm just saying a word and you're cringing? What makes you think a grown man not cringing when you call him a boy? Look, man, like this video, share this video. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Jeremy L. Holloway. Shout out to my city, Memphis, Tennessee. Stand up, man. I would really appreciate y'all.
So just to review, his statement is essentially about the word boy and how he doesn't like being called boy because that's a term that women use to degrade men when they ain't doing their shit or whatever. And like, the thing is, the title of the video is why do women think it's okay? But the reason why women think it's okay is because no one gives a shit. No one cares. Like, in casual conversation, in the context of the conversation, like, this shouldn't even happen. It doesn't even make any sense that he got any sort of offended, because like the whole thing starts with them laughing it up, having fun in the car, and you know, she calls him boy, and it's something that, you know, commonly said from women to men, from grown men to young boys, shit like that. And you know, anybody watching the video has the common sense to distinguish the difference of calling someone like by their gender and then just calling them a child. Like, obviously, if it was one way or the other, then, you know, I sort of kind of understand. But, you know, clearly he's showing in his own damn video that like they're joking, they're laughing, they're having fun. There's no harm being done. But then he chooses to get offended. He makes the decision to get offended and calls her out on it. And the thing about it is that she's 100% in the right here. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, no one cares. Like he asked in the video, like, what grown man wants to be called boy? It's like, it's not that we want to be called boy. It's just that when we're called it, we don't care because it doesn't hurt us. I'm not hurt when I'm called boy. I have plenty of friends that call me boy. I have plenty of friends that I call girl. I have male friends that I call girl. Like, it doesn't matter. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit. Only people with a fragile ass ego, like this dude, would get offended over something like that. Now, what makes this worse is that, first of all, even though like they're all joking and whatnot, and she even said that she didn't mean anything by it, he still felt the need to get back at her, to get even, to get her to get a taste of her own medicine. So he responds by calling her a bitch, and then somehow like implies that like the two are in any way, shape, or form comparable. Like they're not. Like, she called you by your gender. Like, maybe the age isn't correct, maybe you ain't that young, who knows, but you literally called her something that's not even human. Like, not saying that dogs are an inferior species or something or nothing, but in terms of like, you know, this back and forth, your statements are not equal. Like, no. Like, she called you a boy. Are you not a male? Like, what's the problem? You essentially called her a bitch. Something that's kind of like, both in casual conversation, even in joking, it's just inherently negative thing. It's just an inherently negative thing that people say. And what's worse is that in your own goddamn video, if you go back and watch your own video, there's a drastic difference between her reaction when you called her a bitch and your reaction when she called you a boy. Like, the whole video starts with you laughing it up. Like, I didn't even notice what she said the first time. I had to rewatch the video like 3 times. Like, what the hell happened? And you made a decision to get offended, and you decided to say some offensive shit. And she gets upset. It's like, well, yeah, you called her a bitch. That's completely different from being called boy. Like you literally, you literally brought up that she called you out your name. I mean, but you called her out of her fucking species. Like, that's even worse. Like, what the fuck? The conversation should have ended when she said she didn't mean anything by it. Like, that's probably as close to an apology that she owed to you, because, like, you know, your response was fucked up. Like, you were in the clear until when you were like, oh yeah, sure, I'm being sensitive. The whole conversation just should have ended. But no, you had to continue. You had to keep going, and of course, well, I assume that it blew up, like that's where the video ended, but I can only imagine that a conversation like that can only, you know, evolve into a fucking fist fight. So, I don't know exactly what kind of point you're trying to make here. Like, I got offended because my ego is fragile, and everybody who see this video should also be offended. It's like, why? I don't give a shit. Like, I've been in the same scenario before, and I don't get mad when somebody called me boy, so why would I just because I saw your shitty video? Like, what the fuck? And I wish it ended there, but like, then he refers to like the ye old times when white men called us boy to bring us down, to degrade the black men and whatnot. And it's like, do we have to review the N-word like again? Like, how many times do we have to go back to the N-word? Like, it's something that black men use to refer to each other casually, just on a whim. Like, the N-word has infinitely worse history than the word boy. Boy is just what you call a male. Sometimes more often used for young men, but just male. And you use that bullshit excuse I don't understand how he thinks that this shit is okay. I don't understand how someone could have such a fragile ego. I don't understand. And this is the shit that pisses me off. This is the shit that pissed me off enough to make a response, because normally I don't respond to this shit. Anybody you know, anybody that you could possibly ask that know me, I'm not all that responsive when it comes to social media. But this pissed me off because, like, this is kind of like the core mentality of hatred in general. Like, why do you feel the need to like get even? Why? Well, what was the point? Like, this is the shit I see men do all the time to their companions, male or female, whatever. Like, why? it's only causing conflict, and you know it going in, but you choose to because you want to feel empowered for like a couple seconds, and then you go back to your stupid shitty video and you realize that like, hey, I responded out of anger and I said something really dumb. You did. That's exactly what happened. Now you look like a fucking idiot all over Instagram and shit, and you're smiling to the camera. It's like, oh, follow me on. No, not after this bullshit. No, get out of here with that weak shit. You're making us all look bad. Like, stop it. Just stop. And one more thing as a possible rebuttal that like anyone can, I can conceive that someone could come up with is that, oh, when he called her a bitch, that he was joking too. It's like, no, he was not. That was not a joke. Like, the key to this whole thing is context. Like, when they were first talking, when the video just started, they were both laughing, they were both having fun, and then he decided to take the entire conversation to a serious level that it didn't need to go. And then when he responded the way he did, he, like, maybe in his head, maybe in his dreamland where, you know, he's the king and he can say what the fuck he wants and nobody's allowed to be offended at anything, maybe in his world that he was joking. But in the context of the conversation, like, everybody knew, anybody know, even the one that she was talking to, like, in the video, I assume he scripted it. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. Like, he scripted this whole thing. I'm pretty sure he did. And the first thing she said when he said that thing is that, no, we ain't gonna play this game. She knew that he was responding in a way where he wasn't joking. He was trying to prove a point. He was trying to get back at her. She knew it. He knew it. He knew what he was doing. He wrote the damn skit. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how fucking stupid he sounds. So yeah, no, fuck that. Oh, and might I add one more thing? The biggest problem with this whole thing is that by responding the way you did, you proved her right. You're a fucking child. This is something only a boy would get offended over. So there you go.